All right, internet law expert and social media solicitor Yair Cohen are joining us here live on the program today. Great to see you today. Perhaps this is something of larger movements, but potentially, I guess. I mean, how serious are the recommendations by the German privacy watchdog that the government departments have been urged to close their pages by the end of the year? Do you think they have to comply? Do you think they will comply?
They will comply. They don't really have a choice because it is very difficult for the EU to create all those extremely difficult to comply laws and regulations and everything else. And then for the governments who have created those laws to simply allow their own departments to run on Facebook pages which they know are not compliant with GDPR, with the EU privacy laws. But you know, we always knew about this situation because of the different background, the different culture, the different way the Constitution has developed in the US and in the EU. So there's nothing new about the inability almost of Facebook, by way of example, to comply with EU privacy law. It is just impossible for them to do. But so far, EU governments have been turning a blind eye. So effectively, they tell the people to do one thing. They tell companies and organizations they have to maintain certain standards when it comes to handling individuals' data, but when it comes to their own departments, to their own governments, they seem to not care about it. So I think they don't have a choice. They will have to comply and shut down the Facebook pages.
Mr. Cohen, is it possible, though, that this could be more about sending Facebook a message, you know, trying to get it to change its ways, perhaps?
Facebook is not compliant. There's nothing that Facebook can do about it. And the reason I don't think that on this occasion there is anything personal about it. And the reason being that GDPR is based on a single way of handling personal data across the board. In the United States, on the other hand, the laws of privacy are left largely to individual states to legislate, but also whenever there are privacy laws, legislations, they are pretty much applied sector by sector. For example, in relation to bank details or banking information or bank accounts, these are protected in a specific way. And in relation to medical records, those would be protected in a particular way. There's no kind of broad view taken as to privacy law. In fact, there isn't really a right to privacy in the United States. It just goes perhaps against the Constitution.
Well, as you say, the United States is not among the countries deemed capable of providing, quote, an adequate level of protection for that of personal data. But that might be quite surprising to some people. Do you think, is it possible that Facebook is just too big to worry about any of this?
That's a good question. I think we need to take a broad view here and look at the various activities by individual governments within the EU and look at them, but in a broader context. And in this respect, I think you are absolutely correct, because when you look at different actions and different confrontations that EU states are having at this particular time with social media companies, it might be the case that they are preparing the stage for something which is much, much bigger.
Yair Cohen, internet law expert and social media solicitor. Thank you very much for joining us here on RT. I appreciate that.
My pleasure.
Thank you.